Hello everybody, welcome to week 2. This week we will be continuing our discussion of culture, and we'll have some activities geared around that, about some of the ideas we talked about last week. So just to quick rundown of the week's work, you've got some reading, just a review of some of last week's reading, and also a new text that is kind of a preparation for next week and your upcoming first major composition. We'll get to that in just a second. If you haven't signed up for Twitter yet, do that following the directions I linked to last week, and send me your Twitter username. I haven't heard from some of you. Twitter will be a place where we'll have some discussions, informal discussions based off of probably the shared annotations and different things like that. So I think it's important for you, based on the methodology of the class and the approach we're taking, that you participate in these things using the social media sites, etc., that we've set up or that I ask you to use. So you need to do these things at least by Tuesday. By Sunday, review the guidelines for our first major course composition. Add your entries to your free writing journal. Now, per this, the My Digital Story assignment is your first major composition. Next week we'll begin talking about new media and digital writing, things like that, about how new media have affected our thinking, our brainwaves, our habits, different things like that. So I want you to start thinking about this week how digital technologies have influenced your life, the presence they have in your life, and how they influence your interactions with others, etc., etc. So read through this week, the My Digital Story. If you have questions, feel free to email me those questions, or leave me a comment here on the course website related to that. It comes in 3 different parts. One is an essay. You'll write an essay about your experience with digital technologies. And then you will compose a visual presentation based off of your essay. So this will be paired with your essay. And then the third thing you'll do is you'll record yourself presenting your essay against the backdrop of the presentation that you submitted. So if this were a face-to-face classroom, what this would be, an analog for this would be you giving a presentation in front of the class with a PowerPoint behind you. Since we don't meet face-to-face, this gives us an opportunity to hear each other's voices and also to share a story about our experience with digital technologies, which is one of the focuses of the class. So just keep that in mind. You'll review those guidelines for the week for the My Digital Story assignment. Participate, contribute to annotations to the shared annotation spreadsheet. We'll do something with those annotations as the week moves on, so watch for that. Also, this week we have one Google Plus conversation called Observing and Analyzing Culture. Asks you to complete a short little activity and to reflect on it. Kind of a fun thing. I thought it was fun anyway, so hopefully you won't be too bored by it anyway. Also, we have what I'm calling the Collaborative Illustration of Culture activity. Now, this is a collaborative assignment that you will complete with another student in the class. So by today, you need to pick a collaborator by adding your name to this spreadsheet here. So you'll find someone else in the class. Here, collaborator 1. Looks like somebody's added a lot of zeros to their name. We'll just take care of that. But what you'll need to do is just find the person that you would like to collaborate with, put your name on the list right next to them. So see, for instance, put my name here, and then I would be working with this person. We'll get out an email list so that you can contact each other related to this collaborative illustration of culture activity. So you'll need to pick a collaborator. By Wednesday, you'll need to, there's some other things you'll need to do by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday. What you'll be doing is coming up with a collaborative definition of culture, and you'll be sharing that by creating a visual presentation using Haiku Deck. So it will be an image-based kind of definition of culture that you'll just share with the class come the end of the week in the Illustrating Culture G+ page. If you have questions about this, again, feel free to leave a comment here on the website, or email me, or ask the question in Google+, any of those places you can ask the question. So that's I encourage you to get involved in this collaborative activity here. Collaboration, participation is a huge part of digital technologies. They allow us to work with each other even though we're at distances away from each other. I know collaboration can be a difficult thing, especially in a class that some students don't really like to work with other students, but I really encourage you to invest in this experience here because it can be kind of fun. It can be a good experience to work with another person at a distance, to collaborate on activities. So please get involved in this early. Take the opportunity to have some fun with it as well, and to work with a fellow student to get to know them a little differently. So that's the collaborative illustration of culture, and basically that's what we have on the docket for the week. Now, I've left a note here in the reflection section that if you don't complete the weekly reflection, your participation grade for the week will be 0. So if you missed last week's reflection, please go back and complete that. And do make sure that you complete these every week, because remember that your participation counts as 50% of your final course grade. So make sure that you are completing those, that you're participating each week, completing the activities, etc., etc. Really, that's all I've got for you now. If you have additional questions, please do feel free to let me know. My inbox is always open.